So let's get into Pete Carroll
Sneaky
being
effing
rumored to the Giants.
Pete.
Sneaky Pete. We didn't even talk about him. We talked about possible head coach guys because honestly, I kind of thought that Sneaky Pete wanted the 49er job. I wanted the Chargers job, I should say, this offseason. And he's looking for kind of that spot where he can just kind of prance in and be the guy that kind of put a team over the top. Let's be honest, the Giants are not that team. But Marissa Meyer.
I was about to say, he wants to be that sneaky head coach who comes in, fix an organization that's right there, get you right to that point because he's at that age. Then we get you to a ring, closer to a ring, and get out and retire on top.
Yeah, the team that has talent but isn't quite putting it together, almost like a team like Seattle. Oops, did I say that?
We talk about what did they win last night by?
9-7. They're 9-7 on the season, guys.
Yeah,
just saying.
Were they 3-6 last night? Won by 3-6.
6-3. I mean,
6-3.
Just saying, like I just team is a little achieving. By the way, though, I got to say real quick on the Seahawks, how right were you and I and Jackson Smith Midjigma, who's now got over 1,100 yards in 16 games?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, one more game to go, but he's over 1,100 yards, guys. We said he was the best receiver of that draft, and we got a couple of people giving us slack because he didn't have a great rookie year. And I said, wait, hold on, because he's number 3 on the depth chart. Eventually, he's going to move up the depth chart. He leads that team in reception yards, guys.
Yeah,
he's beating out everybody.
DK Metcalf and a lock. So
yeah,
Lockett, whatever.
Lockett. He's also got Noah Fant on there. Like, there's some legit receivers on that team, and he's beating them all out. So just saying, little shine there, a little shine in the badge there. We might know what we're talking about drafting wise. Anyway, Marissa Myers at TWSN says the New York Giants season has gone from worse to bad. The Giants currently sit with a 2-13 record and a fall off from the 9-7-1 season the Giants had in 2022 for Dable's first season. It's clear a new head coach is needed for the Giants, and that is Pete Carroll. Guys, I gotta say, it's not an option I thought of, really. We looked over our list of possible head coaches, but it's not the worst idea in the world because I don't know about y'all, but I don't want a first-time head coach again. I feel like I want a guy who's got not just experience, but good experience. Like
great experience.
Pat Shurmur had bad experience beforehand. Ben McAdoo had no experience beforehand.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Sneaky Pete.
Well, I'm saying none of these guys had any good experience beforehand. And now you get a guy like Sneaky Pete who's got a Super Bowl, should have 2 if he was just smart and ran the damn ball, but it's a whole situation. And was
but again, it's worked for him so many times through the whole year, but whatever. That's besides the point.
I'm just saying, like that's a good it's a good hire. And I think and the crazy thing is because people forget how old he is because of the fact he's Pete Carroll.
He's 72 now. Like he was the second oldest in the league. Yeah. He's the second. He was the second oldest head coach in the league after Bill Belichick.
He is 73 years old.
Oh, 72. I was close.
But here's the thing: unlike Belichick, I feel like he still has the ability to,
he chews gum like he's 58 years old.
He chews gum like a 47-and-a-half-year-old.
He's got the ambition of a 37-and-a-half-year-old gum chewer.
Yeah, like I said, and I feel like I said, it's an interesting option. Now, I will say that he's got other spots that are interested in him. I think we had a comment here. Oh, yeah, there we go. Deb says, I heard rumors of Carroll to Chicago. And yeah, I've heard that as well. A couple days ago, ESPN reported he was interested in the Bears coaching job. I think he wants to go to a place that he feels like he can succeed and succeed quickly. Like, the Bears, let's be honest, guys, it's an intriguing spot because of Caleb Williams, who, by the way, to hear he actually paid for his offense. The offensive lineman thing they're doing this time of the year? He paid for his offensive lineman to go to his nail tech and get their nails painted. I'm not even kidding. Like, that's a legit story I heard.
Oh.
Now, I didn't look for multiple sources on it. I heard one source that usually is right. That's what they said. I was like, oh my God, please tell me that's wrong. But anyway, that's a spot that's intriguing because you have a quarterback that people have high expectations of. Well, guess what happens when you have the number 1 overall pick? You have a quarterback with high expectations.
Yeah.
So he can either go in and go with Shedeur Sanders or go in and go with Caleb Williams. I'm telling you right now, if I'm someone in the NFL that wants to kind of be a last spot and stick my reputation somewhere, I would go with Shedeur Sanders over Caleb Williams. You guys know if you watched us during the draft season, Rob and I were not as high on Caleb Williams as a lot of people were.
Nope.
We were not the people that were, kissing up to Caleb Williams saying he was the greatest thing since sliced bread because we said point blank he wasn't. We said Jane Daniels is better. Again, we're right.
Yep.
In time of this
And
segment here,
why do we say that? Why? Because we think Williams wasn't suited for the big media. Like he couldn't handle it. When he lost when he threw that interception in college, what did he do? He went up and cried to his mama.
And like I said, I don't think a guy like Pete Carroll wants to deal with that. Like we said, the fact he does seem to interact well with younger players, which I don't mean that as like a knock on him. Like that is a skill that some people in their 70s cannot do. Like point blank, I talk to people about my regular job that are in their 20s and they don't get half the crap I'm talking about. At 42, that's what I am. 42. Like imagine at 30 years, I'm gonna be that guy. Remember that Buster Keaton? Like I remember the first King Kong movie. Like
yeah,
I feel like that's what's gonna happen.
Claymatics.
But I mean, again, the guy's in his 70s, been around since the 50s. That's when he was born, and he still interacts well with young players. I thought the Seahawks gave up on him too quickly, to be very frank. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. If there was an issue there, obviously, but I didn't think the coaching was bad, and I think we take that in a heartbeat. I think he's not a bad position for us to go look at there. We could do a lot worse than Pete Carroll. I will say this though: if you get Pete Carroll, I think you need to have a plan for the future though. Like there needs to be an heir apparent, kind of like we talked about with Bill Belichick. There needs to be a guy that we go, okay, this is the guy that Carroll's bringing in with him. It's going to be the coach in like 2-3 years.
100%. That's exactly what I was about to say. Yeah. Like, listen, Sneaky Pete does what Sneaky Pete does. Obviously, I've had a high respect for this guy. That's why I call him Sneaky Pete, because he always sneaks out games.
Oh yeah,
like he's always right there. Like you think he's going to lose, Sneaky Pete got you right there.
He's like a wish version of Mike Tomlin.
I mean, is he though? Like
no, but I'm saying like Mike Tomlin always has a team that's like does well and gets in the playoffs. Like
I don't know if I would say he's a wish version.
No, but I mean by that
an old version.
I'm just saying he's not as good as Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, he's just an older version.
Those of y'all that watch know that I have a huge appreciation for the coaching skill that Mike Tomlin has. I don't like him as a person necessarily because I still hold a grudge for that whole tripping incident years ago. But he is the greatest coach in the NFL right now. Point blank. That man turns water into wine on the football field.
Yeah. So, like, 100%. Like, if you could bring in, like, Pete Carroll wants to go somewhere where he knows there's not that many moves he has to do.
Yep.
With the talent that's there. He needs to make the right moves to bring the talent to make him to the next level. And he has the ability to make that one level just go above where they're at.
Yeah.
So
somebody who can elevate the people on the team, not fight with the assistants and call horrible plays.
Correct. I mean, Pete might fight with you, but everyone respects that guy because he brings in good talent around him.
Yep.
So you bring in a guy like Pete, you bring in, and let's be honest, Kafka's probably out here. You're going to bring someone.
He is. I'm telling you, he's going to borrow Wink's clipboard next week. I'm telling you right now.
So
he wants it so bad. It's not any funny. It's
so you bring in Pete, you bring in a new offensive coordinator that's probably going to take over his job, Pete's job, and like you said, 2 or 3 years, and that's what you do. Let's elevate the team now. Let's show you how it's done.
Yep.
And you're your new guy.
Yep. And I don't pretend to know his staff at Seattle enough to know who we'd want, but I assume it's somebody probably was with him in Seattle. But like you said, it's an intriguing option. I would take it. I think I would take it. I really do.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app And look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please,